Do you conduct a business in the Plenty Valley or surrounding area? If so, consider Plenty Valley FM 88.6 for your business promotion. Our rates are reasonable and results positive. Call 9404 2111 during business hours for more information.
Not happy with your current home care package provider? Switch to DPV Health, two-time winners of the Victorian Public Healthcare Awards. Our award-winning healthcare is matched by our award-winning customer service that keeps you at the centre of everything we do. Switch your home care package to DPV Health before 30th of June 2025 and receive not only award-winning care, but a $100 Visa gift card. Call 1300 234 263 or visit dpvhealth.org.au. T's and C's apply. Station sponsor.
Plenty Valley FM.
88.6
Plenty Valley FM.
Absolutely. We are at the World Blood Donor Day broadcast from the Lifeblood Centre at Copernicus Crescent in Bundoora. Dr. Keats at the mic with Mark Turner and Craig Wright.
Sure is.
Hello.
Hey, righty, we're here to get the message out about Lifeblood Australia. Every year, donors from across the community give 1.7 million donations of blood, plasma and platelets to support patients in hospitals, which is a pretty damn good thing, I think.
Amazing, yeah.
So this is National Blood Donor Week. And, if you want to come down, by all means, come down here and sign up and give a donation, or you can call 131495, book a donation, or you can book it via the Lifeblood Australia app if you have it.
Everyone's got an app these days.
If you don't have it, go out and get it, you lazy sods.
Exactly. But there's
hard to get.
Pretty easy to do. There's plenty of ways to do it as well.
There is, there's all manner of ways you can sign up, and if you come down, you will find people here ready and waiting to take your blood sample. We'll get Ashley Hales on in a few minutes to tell us about the other things that Lifeblood Australia collects, because it's not just blood, other things as well. But we'll leave that for Ash. Sorry?
Organs?
Organs, all sorts of musical, all sorts of musical instruments, organs, guitars, drums, the works, all manner of stuff.
But I think once someone comes down, sorry to interrupt, if you have never done it before, once you come down and see the process and see it's actually not that big a deal,
it's
you'll be back. And you'll realise how good it is.
World Blood Donor Week is the perfect time to do it. There's no better time to take the plunge. If you've always considered doing it, thought about it, why not come down and just check it out now? And I think once you've gone through the process and seen what's involved, I think you'll be back for seconds and thirds and fourths.
And you know what I like about it, Keats, too, is that a lot of organisations these days recognise that community engagement and community service, and they actually provide for blood donor leave in their EAs and job descriptions and things like that. So there's always plenty of time to do it. Don't think, I haven't got the time to do it. A lot of organisations these days and their employees actually encourage you to get a band of people together. It's a good team-building exercise as well.
Speaking of teams, they actually have a thing called Lifeblood Teams where you can sign up on behalf of your employer, and all the other people at the organisation around the country can all donate towards the common goal. I think Dorowitch Pathology, which I'm a team member of, I think we've got 3 donors around the country, which is marvellous.
Excellent.
I think Dorowitch gave... might have been 15 donations last year, which is mighty.
Yeah, absolutely. Any donation is a good donation.
Yes, this is true. Every little bit helps.
It all counts.
It does, very much indeed. So, again, if you're thinking of doing it, come on down. They're open until, was it 4:45, I think, today. Always plenty of spots. There's plenty of parking.
Yeah,
come on down and find out what got you into donating, Mark?
Me?
Yeah.
I think it had always been on my mind, especially if I'd heard like an ad to say we're desperate for donations, things like that. So that's what I initially came down and decided to do it for. And I'd done it numerous times over the years, but I never became a serial donator like yourself.
Right.
And I wish I had. I just got slack. But then, and then of course, once I got sick and I realised I couldn't, and I got cancer. I've actually been dealing with cancer for the last couple of years, and which means I can't give blood.
But you appear to have come out the other side of it.
I'm doing great, but I think as far as they're concerned, I probably wouldn't be. We'll speak to Ashley about it, but
we will.
I probably would be still considered,
a risk. Yeah. But on the other side of things, though, because you had a couple of operations and fairly invasive ones too, you would have made use of blood products too during the course of that, wouldn't you? So
I'd say so. Yeah.
I wonder if they had little bags labelled Mark Turner. They say, okay, we'll give him some of his own back.
That's right. There you go.
Probably does. There's a Tony Hancock, a comedian from the 1950s and 60s. One of his famous programs is called The Blood Donor, and it's revolves around him going in to give blood. And he's a real pain in the backside about it because he's got a rare blood type.
Okay.
And he gives his pint. On the way out, he has an accident.
Right.
And he gets wheeled back in. We've got this guy, he's rare blood type. And they go, no, it's him. So they end up giving him his own blood straight back to him.
That's funny.
It's not exactly the way it works, but What got you into donating, Craig? It's been a while, obviously, but...
Been a while for me. Similar sort of thing. My mum was going through some challenges, and I thought I'd get into donation fairly regularly, and dropped off in recent years. But very keen to come back today and restart the process, which is fantastic. And I've got a couple of guys at work who do it as well, so we're hoping to sort of maybe get a bit of a band of merry men and women together.
Fabulous.
So, looking forward to doing it today.
So you're booked in today? What time?
Very soon, about 10:30.
So you'll be doing plasma, yes? So we won't see you for a little while.
Yeah.
That's okay. We'll get you on in the first hour doing plasma. We'll get me on in the second hour doing whole blood. We could get someone to come in and do platelets.
Yeah,
we kind of had the set.
Yeah.
we got the trilogy.
Right.
Yeah, maybe Ash will roll her sleeve up and or maybe not. I heard a voice in the background now. Who could that have been?
And again, don't forget it is World Blood Donor Day today.
It is,
so if you're thinking about it and have thought about it and not really sure whether to go about it, today is the day to do it. There's lots of different decorations around as well today, and we're here promoting it. So get down here and get donating.
And of course, they've got the Lifeblood Gifts program, which is a rather nifty little thing. It's every third donation, I think, you get a gift.
Oh, that's great.
And you can get a beanie or a drink bottle or a coffee cup or a blanket.
Drink bottle.
Drink bottle. Well, the drink bottle has been put to positive use because I'm using that to hydrate ahead of my donation. So you get free stuff. There's free nibblies here. Party pies and sausage rolls, courtesy of Paddy's. What else have we got? We've got chocolates. We've got chips, pretzels, nuts, bickies, flavoured milk, juice.
All the good incentives.
Yeah, coffee, tea, hot chocolate, all that. So if you want to come on down, you can stock up, maybe fill the pockets a little bit before you go home.
There you go.
Maybe not.
Men's Health Week as well this week. So been lots of things going on with that. So what a great way to culminate that this week by coming down and donating as well. All the guys out there going to their footy grounds or going to watch the footy, come down and make a donation.
Yeah, it's all kind of coalescing, isn't it? All the health stuff is kind of coming in the 1 week. It's well scheduled, I think.
88.6 Plenty Valley FM.
Absolutely. This is your local station, 88.6 Plenty Valley FM, coming to you live on World Blood Donor Day from the Lifeblood Australia complex.
Sure.
In beautiful downtown Bundoora.
Yeah.
Dr. Keats and Mark Turner at the mics at the moment. Craig Wright is off doing preparation for plasma donation stuff. He's doing the questionnaire as we speak. He'll be going, I was going to say under the knife. That's not the correct thing to say. He'll be getting the cannula put in his arm in a few minutes' time and forking over an armful.
And his first time doing plasma.
First time doing plasma.
Yeah.
I didn't
He's
know
in for
that.
a treat. Yeah.
Yeah. Doing plasmas. I'm normally a plasma donor myself.
Yeah. I was doing it too because when they told me that it was really the
more important one.
That's why I did it. I think in the end I got a little bit just because it was took a lot longer, but it's so much worth it. It is so worth it.
It absolutely is. So you get a nice inner glow and a bit of a spring in your step as you kind of walk out the door at the end of things. It's a really good feeling. That's one of the reasons I do it. Because
that's good. Yeah.
Walk along with my head held high and
make you feel even better about the fact that you've just given blood.
Yeah, and if you're feeling a bit low, giving blood is a great way to kind of boost your enthusiasm, make yourself feel a bit better about yourself. It's good.
Can I ask you a question?
Oh, if you must.
You know what blood type you are, I'm assuming?
I do, yes. A positive, which is strange because I'm such a negative person.
Did you say A or O?
A.
A.
Yep.
Yeah, I am too.
There you go.
And I don't know if you can find out though. Like when you come here, I think you might have to do it another way. Is that right? I don't think they're allowed to tell you or something. There's something weird like that. It's from memory, but we can find out when we speak to Ashley.
Yeah.
It's one thing I'm a bit curious about.
What?
Oh, just if someone doesn't know what blood type they are, if they come down here and they can say, you're actually this, or you have to find out by asking a doctor or something.
Not sure. That's actually good. We'll get Ash on after the next break. Maybe we'll ask.
Not everybody knows what blood type they are.
No, they don't. And it's kind of important that you do. I mean, in so many sporting fields, for example, they have the participant's blood type somewhere tattooed on their arm or on their uniform or something like that.
Right.
So it is important to know what blood type you are.
Yeah, because some are more valuable than others because they're rarer, aren't they?
Yeah, well,
A positive is pretty common, isn't it? It's the most common one.
Yeah, RH negative and things like that are very
crazy ones.
They're the really, really strange ones.
Yeah,
But conversely, because so many people are A and O type, they actually need more of that.
Okay, because it's more common. The
majority of people who will need blood products during their life will be either A or O. So even though your blood type is common, that's no reason not to donate. Nothing. They don't need mine. They actually need more of yours.
Yeah, because there's more people with A positive.
Yeah, exactly. And O positive, of course, and all those ones. So, all the more reason to come on down or book. If you're not in the area, you can always book elsewhere. My first donation was at the headquarters in Collins Street many years ago. 99, 97, 99, something like that. I was walking down Collins Street and I'd been thinking about donating blood for a while.
Yeah, right.
And there was the blood bank. I thought, you know what? I just walked in off the street.
Yeah, great.
20 minutes later, I was sitting in the chair, and 20 minutes after that, I was back out on the street. And I thought, gee, that was easy.
Wow,
Ever
that's
since
pretty
then,
good.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. Really good experience. Going to shoot out a few hellos and howdies and g'days to various people who are listening. Rolly Sims.
G'day, Rolly.
He was one of the guiding lights of the radio station. He's currently listening in. Thanks for your support, mate. Billy Papp. Who was well known to both you and I. He's listening as well. A couple of other workmates from Dorridge may be listening. Justin Cowman might be listening. Adrian Mazura might be listening. Ray Schultz, Ray Schmitz might be listening.
Yeah,
we hope. If you're if you are that way inclined, if you need a break and your feet hurt, come on down to the blood bank and put your feet up for a while.
That's right. Yeah, have a rest.
All manner of stuff. Fabulous.
Yeah,
So,
it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Definitely worth your while.
I think so. If they don't get enough donations, well, there's no risk that a person in an emergency won't get the blood they need, but it means less urgent situations. Some patients may have to wait, which we don't want. So we want to make sure everyone has the blood they need when they need it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the blood donor community always responds when we call for donors, and we're confident they will again. Now, winter, of course, is one of the periods where they need blood the most because it's winter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and low supplies, people rescheduling appointments, cancelling appointments, that impacts upon it as well. So always needed.
Yeah.
And blood stocks at the moment, they're very low on O positive and O negative.
Okay.
Lowest point since 2023, in fact. So
Wow.
the community responded, of course, as they always do, and things are looking pretty good there at the moment. But even so, still in the community to keep donating all the way through winter. It's a more challenging time for lifeblood because people reschedule or cancel.
Yeah.
Colds, flus, cold and wet weather, that sort of thing. It all impacts.
Yeah.
So, if you can come down, hey, come down. Or come down here and come and say hi to us. If you come down and give a donation, after you've given the donation, come over and say hi, or say hi before you go in.
Yeah.
And we'd love to put you to here and tell your story about why you decided to become a blood donor.
Exactly.
Come on down for your first time if you're so inclined.
Yeah.
That'd be great too.
Yeah.
And, also shooting out hello to the folks at AWM at Campbellfield, who I believe may be listening at the moment, possibly against their will in some cases, because someone may have commandeered the radio there. But it's okay. Hi, Susie, if you're listening. If you're not listening, well, to you, because we're here putting in the hard yards, and that's what matters as far as we're concerned. And, of course, thanks going out to Nick and Brian King, who set up all our outside broadcasts. They've done the same here.
Yeah.
They're here as we speak, which is the only reason I'm saying all this, because they can hear me.
No, they always do a wonderful job.
They absolutely do, and they get so little recognition for it. So if we can pump their tyres up a bit, that's a damn good thing.
Absolutely.
I reckon.
88.6 Plenty Valley FM.
Absolutely, folks. This is your local station, 88.6 Plenty Valley FM, World Blood Donor Day, and we're here live from the Red Cross Lifeblood Australia complex in Bundoora. We're here until midday, and we're joined by Ashley Hales.
Yes, you are. Hello.
Hi. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Happy to be here, and thanks for coming by.
Most
Bundoora
welcome.
Donor Centre's never been so lively on a Saturday midday.
There you go.
Good. That's what we like to hear.
So, what do you actually do here, Ash?
So I'm a relationship manager with the Australian Red Cross Lifeblood in Victoria, and I reckon I've got one of the best jobs because I just go out to workplaces, community groups, faith organisations, whoever will listen to me really,
Yeah, cool.
and go out and just chat about the importance of blood donations and help coordinate their blood drives, or just, make sure I bust some myths. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and so my job is to correct the wrongs and welcome those who think they can't to donate, and sometimes they come in, which is great.
What are some of the myths?
Some of the myths, around eligibility, for example, tattoos. People think if they have tattoos they can't donate, when in fact they can come in and donate the next day.
Wow.
People who were born or visited the UK in the early 90s, late 80s, they also assume that they can't donate. And
Well, for a while they couldn't, could they?
Exactly. Just because we told you no once doesn't mean no for life. But a lot of the myths are surrounding around the importance of blood donations and the process that's involved. And so just walking people through what to expect on the day and the impact that it is going to make in the bigger picture of things.
Yeah.
And of course, on the day, it's not really terribly impactful on a person on the day, is it?
No, it's not. Not if they prepare well,
Yeah.
Pete, which, I'm staring at your drink bottle now, being like, I hope he's hydrated.
Well, he's just gone and filled it. He's already down to half of it, so...
I believe you. No, the process on the day, we go out of our way to make sure it's a positive customer service experience first and foremost, and not so much a clinical experience. That's why we don't take blood at the hospitals anymore. We like to think that we can remove that sort of emotional connection to it. And so at the donor centres, you know, the process to expect for anyone curious out in the public that are listening is you come on in, you prove you are who you say you are. You do a quick check-in at the front desk, similar to a dentist. You can't just expect them to clean your teeth without knowing who you are. We do an eligibility quiz, so a bit of a lifestyle check to make sure that it's going to be safe for you to donate because there's no point taking blood from someone who probably needs it themselves.
True.
You then do a quick health check with a nurse based off all your answers where they check your blood pressure and your hemoglobin, which is a fancy word for colour of blood. It's a great indicator of iron. And so in many cases for people who are healthy and well, by being a regular donor can sort of stand as a bit of a health check or an ongoing management.
It is. It's really good. You can go through the Lifetross, the Lifeblood app, and you can look back over your previous history, your pulse, your hemoglobin levels and your blood pressure, which is fabulous.
Absolutely. And we've also just introduced ferritin readings as well.
Okay.
So
Great.
for people who have low iron or are managing and monitoring their own iron levels, by being a regular donor, you can actually keep an eye on that yourself. And then when you do go see your GP, whenever you are sick, you can open up the app and show them how you've been previously, which is just a sensational tool.
And of course, if you've got too much iron in your blood, donating blood's also good for that, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. People who have haemophilia. Hemochromatosis. No, please. Whoopsie. Freudian slip there. People who have hemochromatosis, yeah. So those that do have that know that you can give that at your local GPs or, you know, at a local pathology unit and they just pour it down the drain. But if you give us a call on 13 14 95 in advance and organise an appointment with Lifeblood and get on our system, when you donate, we can actually use those in our hospitals.
Known as a therapeutic donation. My brother, about a year or so, he had, I'd say past tense, had hemochromatosis, and he got advised that the best way to manage it would be to give blood. So he was coming in here once, and it wasn't once every 10 weeks like it normally is for whole blood. It was more often than that.
Well, it depends on people's levels, you know, and that's why giving us a call in advance is really helpful. If you were to show up at the donor centre and says, my doctor says I've got 2 high iron, can I donate? We're like, we don't have any proof of that. So make sure you follow the right steps. But a little interesting anecdote about hemochromatosis is we run blood drives throughout the year. So we just finished up the tertiary blood drive where the local La Trobe University near Bundoora did very, very well.
Which is where this Lifeblood used to be located.
Yeah, we used to be on campus and then there was a parking shortage, so we got kicked out. But that's fine. There's no parking shortages now. We're at Polaris. But, there's all sorts of blood drives. And we've got the emergency services blood drive, which just kicked off as well. So police versus ambulance versus fire. Who will win? I've got my bets on police, but, you know, that's an educated guess.
Well, they've got batons and pepper spray, so they can mace the opposition.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm sure they've got their sneaky strategies up their sleeves for that. But we also have the health services blood drive on where hospitals or health service providers compete. And I say it's compete because it's healthy competition, of course. And hilariously, every year Hemochromatosis Australia wins, but they win because their donors have to donate. So it's a bit of a skewed system. But anyway, we make sure that it's going to be safe for donors to donate. And so we do all these checks and balances prior to donating. And then if all cleared and all healthy and well and all good to go, then we'll get donating. So blood donation takes only 10 minutes on the chair, providing you're hydrated, of course. And a plasma donation, which maybe we'll talk about a little bit later, can take anywhere from half an hour up to an hour, again, depending on the volume that we're taking, how hydrated you are, and all these other sorts of factors. But the best part about donating, or at least all the uni students would tell me, is the snacks that you get.
Yes.
It's good reward, but it's also great at replenishing all those fantastic cells you've just given away.
Yeah, and of course, when you're in the chair, you usually have hydration of some sort. There'll be a flavoured milk or a juice or something like that, especially if you're doing plasma, because you get a metallic taste in your mouth occasionally, so it's important to have something here to kind of get rid of that. Yeah,
just a little top up here and there, you know, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's not a bad service, and I can definitely speak for the staff here at Bundoora, as being one of them, is we're all amazing people. You know,
That's true. Yep, seconded.
And we don't have to look too far to understand the importance of what we're doing as well. You know, you look around the room and there's always a smile on the staff members' faces because they know that they're making an impact and they're helping people make an impact on other people's lives. And even on a cold day like today, you know, we love coming to a temperature-controlled environment.
Yes, that's always nice.
Good, yes.
It's nice for the donor too. You get out of a freezing environment. You walk in, it's lovely, and it's light, and it's warm, and there's friendly, smiling people. You think, I might stay here for a few hours.
Absolutely. We say taking blood's the easy part, getting here's the hard part. And so, but once you are here, which you were saying on air earlier, and you realise what's involved It can be a lot less daunting. But even still, if it's your first time and you're a little nervous, just go with somebody, and whether you're donating or not, just come and have a look at the space. We're so welcome for curious minds to come on in and educate themselves on what to expect and to discern if it's going to be the right choice for them. Because the biggest barrier to entry, I find, if it's not convenience, then it's just education. So come and have a little look. Go with someone who's donating. Watch what happens, and then maybe next time when they come in and donate, you can donate with them.
Yeah. That's actually obviously during COVID, that was not a thing because distancing and all that sort of stuff. But now, if you feel like coming along with someone to see, a regular donor, you're interested, come along with them by all means and check it out. And I think you'll be very, very impressed.
Yeah.
And as you said, the staff here are fabulous. They're just always above and beyond, always happy to see you, always big smile on their face, laughing, cheerful. That's wonderful.
Oh, yeah, and you
Great
love to
atmosphere.
see it, absolutely. And it's just encouraging and a warm place to revisit and come back to because, a one-off donation is amazing. And the first time you donate, that's all we expect of you. We don't want you to commit for life. But we often find that once they do it once and then they get that text message about where their blood's gone, because we do that as well.
That's cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
First-time donors, get excited. You find out your blood type and then you also find out which hospital it goes to as well, which can make you feel just those warm and fuzzies. We're all looking for a sense of purpose. And with Men's Health Awareness Week this week, I've had a lot of conversations with men around looking for, some way to give back or to get that kind of sense of purpose back or, do things that help others and also helps themselves. And inarguably, you can't look too much further than giving life through a blood or plasma donation.
Absolutely.
And you can do a blood donation every 3 months if you'd like a bit of routine or if you've got capacity, especially those newly retired people that assume, you don't want my blood or this guilt around, I should have done it earlier. You can come in and do plasma every 2 weeks should you wish for it. So, you can set a routine, you can give back and you can help yourself. It's pretty good. Tick, tick, tick.
Mark was actually asking before about how you find out what your blood type is.
And you just answered the question because I couldn't remember if it was if you were able to get it from doing a blood donation. You can, so that's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if you don't out there and you don't know what blood type you are. There's one way to find out. Come down and donate.
Exactly. It's a big motivator for new donors to come in, and we don't expect people to know their blood types before they donate, but we do need to know your blood type before we give it to somebody else.
Of course,
Very important.
They're very important. But a common question I always get asked is, what is the most important blood type? So does either of you want to have a go at guessing it?
Well, Keith was saying before. Tell us what you were saying before.
O negative, I would think.
O negative being the most important. What do you reckon, Mark?
Well, I'm only going by what Keith said. He said he thought maybe
Don't do
A
that.
positive because it's one of the most common.
Yeah.
So, because we're both A positive.
I would have said the most common ones are the most important because they are the ones that are needed the most because so many people have them.
You are you're giving me all the right answers here. Well
There you
done.
go.
But
It happens occasionally.
the
not often.
actual real answer, what is the most important blood type, is every blood type.
They're all
There
important.
you go.
They're all important.
Okay.
People are like, I'm not O-neg, you don't need me, because as I'm sure you just said, O-neg's the universal giver.
And so people think because so many people have it, it's common, they're not going to need one. But it's actually the other way around. Because so many people have got it, it's
Absolutely
More
correct.
needed, yeah.
Yeah, in fact, last week, a lot of people and listeners probably would have seen us quite frequently on the news or in the paper or out and about because we went into an appeal last week, which sometimes happens with cold and flu because we need our donors to be healthy and well. And if we're relying on a regular donor panel and they're impacted by their own kind of illness, then we ask them not to come in. And so if the people who usually come in aren't, then we have really big repercussions. And so with O positive being the most popular blood type, 38% of the population, we had the lowest levels on our inventory nationally than we had seen since 2023.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so we went a bit bananas with our please come in, which is great to see that Craig's come in and donate today because he's O-pos. And fortunately, people heard the call to arms and they came in. But, I challenge those people who heard the call to action and couldn't donate last week. That doesn't mean we don't need you next week or the
absolutely.
week after because blood is not on tap. It only has a shelf life of 42 days. And so if
not
we've
much, is it?
No,
just
it's
called in the phone a friend or the support last week, well, then we've run out of people to call in 42 days. So if you're thinking, maybe, or I don't know my blood type or all these things, you're probably O-pos because it's the most popular one. But every blood type is needed because, as you said, Keith, if you're sick in hospital and need a transfusion, it's your own blood type you want first and foremost.
Mark's been through some fairly challenging health issues over the last couple of years and he's availed himself of blood products too. So it's kind of giving back what he's given himself in the past.
Absolutely, and you don't need to look too far to find somebody that has probably needed it in your social or your office circles or anything like that, or at the local footy club. In fact, 1 in 3 people will need a donation of blood products at some point in their lifetime. 1 in 3. And so people often think that that's car accidents or that's, all these major things.
So many other things.
So many other things.
Some probably later in the year. I'm going in for a hernia operation.
Oh, that's exciting.
Oh yeah, I'll probably be needing some myself then.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. And as I was just saying to Mark off air, similar to mental health, people wait until they need help to get help.
Yeah.
But I would love to encourage people who have the time and are willing and able to start their donor journey, because you never know who's going to need it. Someone in your circles. But more than likely, and it's the case every single time, is you will never know who gets your blood donation, but they will never not be grateful for you.
That's true.
And
Very true.
It's that giving back and that anonymity of it that makes the donor process so special.
So, Lifeblood doesn't just collect blood. What else do you collect?
Yeah, well, there was a rumour on the radio that we collect organs, which I would like to bust.
That was a little joke, sorry.
No, that's fine.
If you have spare guitars, Mark and I will take those. But
Yeah, make
organs,
Organs are a bit heavy, actually.
organs are too hard.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the manual handling involved. But yeah, if you've got a spare
if it's one
guitar,
of those-
just drop it at Copernicus Crescent this morning. We'll be here all morning. No, so we take, so a blood donation is probably a lot of listeners probably think when they hear lifeblood. We take plasma donations, which is what I was talking about just before, which is the white cell component of your blood. It's very, very important for cancer patients and autoimmune patients. We also take platelets, which are your clotters.
I've never done platelets.
Yeah, well, platelets is a bit of a VIP donation. Not to say you're not a VIP,
was
but
gonna say.
it does take very specific eligibility criteria in order to be willing and able to give platelets. So if you're curious and you're looking online, you're like, I'd like to give platelets. Well, every single time you donate, we're always checking your full blood count to see your platelet levels, so that we can know that if we were to take some from you, it's not going to have impact on the donor. So there's not too many platelet donors out there, but when we find them, we're pretty schmoozy with them. We're like, oh, you've got nice platelets. We're going to come back and do that. But a platelet donation only has a shelf life of 7 days.
Oh,
so
wow.
Right.
Okay.
we're not going to risk over collecting platelets just because people might be wanting to give it. We need to be really sure that there's a high chance that it's either already needed in our hospitals or likely going to be needed. So those more popular blood types are the ones that we're usually looking for.
Okay.
But we also do milk bank,
Yes, I was going to say.
which is great. So in a lot of states around Australia, because Lifeblood is a national organisation, we've got milk bank services set up and stuff. So for those parents that need a bit of assistance, or specifically with those preemie babies, where they need a bit of milk to support the early few months of the child's life.
Well, so I'd be interested in donating that.
Again, really specific criteria, Keats, which,
Not gender specific by any chance.
No, so we got milk, and then in WA we've also got the microbiome.
I was going to
donation
ask about that too.
process.
In case anyone's eating, you might want to stop for a...
Yeah, that's why we use the word microbiome. It's a very scientific word for poo. So that launched a few years ago in WA, and it's been highly successful and really transformed and improved the lives of people who require products made out of microbiome. And so, it's in the amazing infantile stages and likely to expand and grow, because it's in many ways, everything that we do here at Lifeblood is life-saving.
Yeah.
With microbiome, are you okay with people just bringing in random samples? Or...
Kids, honestly. I don't know if you deserve a free guitar after that. No, I guess I should probably caveat, please don't bring your microbiome donations, and don't bring your milk donations, and don't bring any other bodily fluid donations.
Technically speaking, you do have a microbiome donation station here.
Yeah, except that's connected to the sewers. And so I don't know about you, but I'm not going digging in there.
Yeah.
I did my bowel cancer test last week, which is why it's fresh in my mind. And the other thing is I work at a pathology supplies warehouse, and those are all things I use. I deal in those all day long. And all the items you've got in there, all the test tubes, the butterflies that go in the arm, all that, Mark and I used to deal with those on a daily basis. So when we go in there, it's like my workbench. There's all these test tubes. Like, I packed 100 of those, 1,000.
But it's fun seeing them used, not just going into a box.
It's fabulous seeing them used. It's just, we're coming up towards news time. We've still got a few seconds, so we might wrap this up. Actually, we'll be back in the second hour.
Yeah.
And to tell us more about Lifeblood Australia's vital work.
Perfect.
Very
Yeah.
good.
This is
Very interesting.
World Blood Donor Day. We are your local station, 88.6 Plenty Valley FM. We're coming live from Lifeblood Australia at Bundoora, here at Copernicus Crescent. If you would like to come down and donate, by all means, come down and donate. We're open. What time are we open till today? 4:45?
Yeah, we've got extended hours at all of our donor centres on the weekends. Our last donation is at 4.
Yep.
So there's plenty of appointments available after lunch today, which is amazing. And tomorrow we're open again from 7 a.m. until 4 p.m.
We're doing walk-ins?
Yeah, we are at the moment,
Okay.
but remember, you've got to be hydrated. So
okay.
if you're going to walk in, get prepared to be asked.
Drink a lot of water.
Drink a lot of water.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Not happy with your current home care package provider? Switch to DPV Health, a leading not-for-profit healthcare organisation and winner of the Victorian Public Healthcare Award 2 years running. We deliver excellent healthcare to every client, every time, and ensure any profit we make goes back into the community. Switch your home care package to DPV Health before 30th of June 2025 and receive a $100 Visa gift card, along with the support you need to remain active, healthy and independent at home. Call 1300 234 263 or visit dpvhealth.org.au. T's and C's apply. Station sponsor.
Discover the best of retirement living at Sherwin Rise, a thriving community in Melbourne's north. Choose from new modern designer homes with open floor plans and private backyards, all in a secure and low-maintenance community. Homes start from $499,500 and will be ready by mid-2025. And for a limited time, there's no service fees for the first 2 years. Visit sherwinrise.com.au to learn more and retire with confidence. T's and C's apply.
Station sponsor.
Yes, Lifeblood Australia here in Bundoora. If you feel like coming on down and joining in the fun, by all means do so.
Yeah.
We've got Mark Turner, myself, and Ashley Hales has joined us.
Hello. Hi,
Welcome
I'm
back.
back.
There you go.
Welcome back.
Just to prove that she's actually here, I'll be popping off in a few minutes to give my donation, which we'll be broadcasting live. Got a little radio mic and transmitter there, so we'll be guiding you through the process. Yeah, hopefully everything goes well, as it's going to make interesting radio. If not,
That's right, yeah.
maybe just get the wrong vein or something like that.
No, we will do everything safely, as we always do, and ensure comfort and a successful donation.
Oh, well,
Thank you so
a
much.
little bit of publicity would be a good thing. I mean,
No.
Get us on the news, you reckon?
I reckon get a couple of ambulance crews in here.
Oh my God.
No, it's I've
He's a
only
serial
ever
donor, he'll be all right.
I've only ever had 2 problems at the blood bank. The first one was when I gave plasma, then I jumped on my push bike and rode home.
That's on you.
Yep, it was. And the second one was when I had a great big huge bruise on one arm and they had to try and use my right arm. My right arm does not work.
Yeah.
Oh.
okay.
But she tried anyway. She couldn't get anything happening through the vein in the crook of the elbow, so she tried on the outside, and she's kind of going in when she's gasped. She's gone. I said, "What?" She said, "I've pierced the vein." It's like, that's what you're supposed to do, isn't it? How are you going to get the blood out if you don't pierce it, you fool? She said, "No, I've gone all the way through it." Oh, bugger.
That's all right. You
But
know,
out of 137 donations, that's not a bad strike rate, I
that
reckon.
is not a bad strike rate at all. And you're absolutely right. We always have to make sure that we're picking the right veins on the right arm and all these things. People often think they've got to use their dominant arm or, you know, you have to see the vein in order to be eligible. But that's not the case. Most of the nurses here are absolute wizards with the needle. And we always think of people have been frightened off from their vein suitability from pathologists that maybe have communicated, God, you've got bad veins or all these sorts of things.
Yeah, right.
Well, I would just like to challenge that a little bit and suggest that when you do see a pathologist, it's often as a result of being ill and they ask you to not drink beforehand and not eat beforehand.
Yes,
and therefore
fasting.
access to your veins can be quite restricted. Whereas at the donor centre, we want you healthy, hydrated and well fed. So in many, many cases that can improve access to veins and kind of help rewrite or reframe how you are in suitability for
I can
donation.
actually second that about going to pathologists. Now, I had a blood test a few months ago. I won't mention the ACC that it was at, the collection centre it was at. But she put the needle in and she dug around a fair bit trying to find it. I said, "Would you like some help?" It's the big, long, blue, thin thing you can see there. Put it in that, madam. It's like, "No, I'll get there." And it's hello. But
Hey, I'm not here to shame pathologists. All
Never
I'm
had-
here to say is that if you've had a bad experience in a pathology centre, that doesn't necessarily translate to a bad experience in a donor centre.
No, it doesn't. And as I said, I've never had a negative experience here with finding a vein or any of that. people think, oh, it's going to be painful. It's really not. It's not. It's not more painful than getting a flu injection.
Yeah.
And possibly even less painful.
And that's not isolated just to the Bundoora Donor Centre either.
Not.
You know, all of our donor centres around Australia, of which we have a network of over 100 permanent sites, meaning that it's open 7 days a week, and a network of over 300 temporary sites where we visit specifically in like rural New South Wales, Queensland, Victoria areas. We've just launched one over in WA as well, and we're looking to do something similar in South Australia. We've got donor centres all around Australia, and so not locally in the Plenty Valley region, and maybe you're taking some holidays and you might be abroad. Sure, you can donate overseas if you want, but you just never know where the local donor centre might be to you. And, you know, if Bundoora is a bit tricky, or maybe you work in the city or in the Camberwell area or wherever, the staff and the experience you can expect in donor centre is similar across the board. We're all good at what we do.
What's the deal with the staff here? Are they here permanently, or are they just rostered on different collection centres?
Yeah, so it's permanent staff.
Right.
So we need to make sure that, you know, the staff know what they're doing, and remember they know what they're doing consistently. But yeah, if you're a nurse at Bundoora, then you're likely just to stay here in Bundoora, and which is awesome, because then you get to see the regulars and build that rapport and that sense of community and things. And yeah, in many cases, you know, we have familiar faces that always pop on in. And actually, if I may, I'd love to speak on a gentleman that was donating on Thursday.
Yeah, of course.
So there was a gentleman named Michael who came in for his 375th donation.
Wow, that's impressive.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Michael's amazing, and in fact, it's weird when he's not here every second Thursday doing a plasma donation.
Right.
But for Michael, it took 362 donations for him to realise the importance of donating. And so, and he's comfortable with me sharing this story because it's an amazing and really inspiring one. On Easter Sunday, his wife had a routine surgery, and there were some complications afterwards, unidentified bleeding. She needed 33 units of blood in the first couple of hours, and many, many, many units since she's
How many units of blood are there in the average human body?
I mean, we've got on average about 7 to 9 litres of blood in your body. Units of blood is varying amounts of donations that we take, but for those that know that number and what that translates in volumes, if you're a health services worker, then 33 units is an obscene amount of blood. And so she needed that straight up, and she's needed numerous donations and blood products since. She's been 54 days in the ICU. She woke up from an induced coma on Mother's Day surrounded by her family, which is great. And she's still in the ICU on the road to recovery, but she has needed, on estimate, about 382, donors worth of product. And so for Michael, it's taken him 35 years to do 375 donations.
That's almost his entire output.
Yeah,
exactly. And it's taken his wife 6 weeks to use them all.
Wow.
Good heavens.
Okay.
And so he was here on Thursday doing his donation, and then he stayed out and around afterwards just thanking donors, you know.
That's lovely.
And
That's awesome.
The staff here, I mean, there's never a dry eye in the station these days when he comes in, and he was leaving. He's like, oh, Ash, I've got to go. And I was like, oh, really? What, why? Why are you going to go? He's like, oh, you know, got a wife to take care of. And we're like, oh, yeah, of course. And he's like, yeah, something I failed to mention is today's our 32nd wedding anniversary. And then again, everyone started crying. And so it's just this whole thing.
That's awesome.
But, you know, he's somebody that was donating just because he started initially, I think, at school, and then his workplace supported it, and he just kind of was doing it as a routine. And then it's only when he realised the importance of it that now he's proactively advocating for others and others in his social and corporate networks to kind of get involved, because it's as a result of the generosity of people who donate that his wife is now alive, and that's the story for everybody who's ever needed it. Yeah.
And of course, there'll be thousands and thousands more stories pretty similar to that, varying degrees, obviously, but there's a story behind every donation. There's a story behind every recipient.
Yeah, and that's exactly why we've launched the new campaign, Life is the Reason, with Lifeblood. Perhaps you've seen some of the ads on the TV.
Have.
We're encouraging new donors, non-donors and existing donors to jump on the website and log their reason to donate. It's a really good feel-good platform. If you're having a bit of a bad day, just have a look on there and recognise why people give back. I saw one the other day, and it was just like, also the vampires don't take it. And I was like, okay, that's fair enough.
Good enough reason?
Do you get people with Hungarian accents pale with coming out and go, some blood, what's a withdrawal?
It's a bit of a complicated, because they've got these big capes, and it's a hindrance to access. But in every donor centre, we also have boards that people can write up their own reasons if they don't want to log it on the website.
Great.
What we're doing is we're collecting hopefully 100,000 reasons to donate, to represent the 100,000 new donors that we need to recruit and inspire to donate, to help kind of manage blood supply nationally. So if you're listening and you think, I can't donate blood, or I can't donate my time to do it, maybe donate your reason and encourage other people to get involved.
Yeah. Still a contribution.
Absolutely.
Get the word out there.
Absolutely it is, because we're compiling those reasons and we're going to use those in our marketing to help motivate and proactive kind of recruitment of donors.
Marvellous.
A movement of donors.
I don't know what it is, Doctor. I just feel jaded, run down. And I find it hard to relax.
I see. Take one of these once a day.
Victoria's magnificent variety of parks will work wonders for your mind, body and soul.
I feel better already.
Parks Victoria. Healthy parks, healthy people.
Foster carers offer children a safe, secure and nurturing place to stay where their family is unable to care for them. Foster carers come from all walks of life, single, in a relationship, working full-time, with or without kids. All carers can make a positive difference in a child's life. Register at anglicarevic.org.au to join an online information session and find out if foster care is a good fit for you and your family. Anglicare is a community group supporter of 88.6 Plenty Valley FM.
88.6 Plenty Valley FM.
And you're back on your local station, 88.6 Plenty Valley FM. We are broadcasting live here from Lifeblood Bondura, and it is World Blood Day, Donor Day today. That's why we're here, and because it's just a great place to come and do a live broadcast from. So it's about time we did, I reckon. And the address here is 19 to 21 Coppercornius Crescent. Did I say that right? In Bondura. And yeah, come down. Come down and do a donation. We'd love to have you. All right. Things are going great. Having a bit of a chat about all sorts of things, blood related. And I've got Alf with me too. How you doing, Alf? He's just dropped in
thanks,
too.
Mark. Yeah,
nice
I
to
thought
see
I'd
you.
Drop in and been listening all the way in.
Great.
What a fantastic place. It's bright,
it's lovely, isn't it?
Bright light, plenty of information, and dare say that when I'm feeling a little bit better and swapped off a few things, I'll have my arm twisted.
Great.
And come in and make a donation.
Great. You said you've never donated before?
I've never done it before.
And this is the first time you've been in here, yeah?
I've never been into any blood donation place at all.
Yeah,
So,
wow. It's pretty cool, isn't it? It's a pretty friendly place. It's pretty bright and lovely and,
especially with welcoming people like Ash.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Explaining everything and, it is what she says it is. There is plenty to go around and I think I might grab a cup of tea shortly.
Yeah, great.
But it's been excellent to hear about everything, especially Ash answering a lot of the FAQs.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be really good. I've just seen Keats walk past, so I think he's getting ready.
He's prepping to get in the chair and do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really eager.
Yeah.
Great.
No, it's good. It'll be pretty cool doing a live blood donation on air.
Something different, as long as he doesn't go, ouch.
No, that's right. He's a pro, man. He's done it a million times, so he's
137.
Well travelled. Is that what his number is? Wow, that's pretty impressive. Yeah,
that's pretty good going.
I think mine was you can count mine on one hand or something like that. That I've done. But I plan on getting back into it. I said I've had to have a break because of health reasons. But once I'm able to, I'm coming back because it's so worth it. So worth it.
Well, I was listening to some of the various blood drives with the various services, and I think, maybe we should have a community radio blood drive.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Might have to talk to Ash about that.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. Plenty of arms to bring forward from the station.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be a good way to catch up with everyone again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Meet some new faces.
Exactly. But come on down, folks. We're up until 4:45 here today. We're not staying here that long, but they're going to be open until 4:45. If you want to come down and donate, if you're a past donator or you haven't donated before, it's definitely worth checking out. And like we said, they've got the app too. You can download the app onto your phone or your device and do things that way as well. Make a booking or it tells you all the information on there as well. So all very, very worthwhile. Definitely worthwhile checking out.
Yeah, the app looks looks like a really, really good thing, especially just tracking a bit of medical history.
Yeah. I mean, before that was around, I remember you can just call up and they'll book you in. You know, it was easy to do it like that, or you can just walk in and chat to them, you know, in person too. So there's a few different ways. But
certainly quite busier. There was a bit of a line now coming in, so hopefully maybe we reached out to a few people.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good. Like I said, I've got quite a few friends in my social network who I see regular donate, and it's lovely to see. It's really nice to see, you know. And they do it. They're serial donators like Keats. You know, they love coming and doing it.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
Someone in one of my circles, Bernard, sometimes listens to community radio. He's a routine listener, and he's got well over 100 as well. So
that's great.
But yeah, like paying back into the community.
Yeah,
paying back it's what we can do to say thanks to our wonderful medical staff and doctors and nurses and
the people that need it. You know, the patients that really need it. Like I said, I've probably needed it, you know, because I've been in the hospital 3 times now in the last couple of years, and you know, for operations. So, you know, it's definitely worth it.
Being someone who rides a motorbike occasionally, I'm told you'll need it one day.
Yeah, okay. Oh, sheesh, let's hope not.
No, thanks. I ride a bit safer than that.
Yeah.
But you just never know, and especially other things like plasma and platelets, like we've been talking about.
Yeah. Incredibly important.
I'd heard of plasma before, but never heard of platelets.
Okay,
so it's been quite the learning experience this morning listening in.
Yeah, that's good. It's good that you learned some stuff, and hopefully other people out there have that are tuning in. Because it's definitely worth learning a little bit about. I learned some stuff because my wife was asking if she wanted to come down. She wants to come back, but because she had low iron, was she able to? So she can. She can come back and donate platelets. Plasma. Sorry. So that's the quick answer.
Yeah.
So that's good. I can't wait to tell her that. So you're good to go. You can come down and do plasma, and it's even better.
Yeah, no, I think it's a wonderful thing. You know, Ash really explained, you know, the eligibility and some of the what people thought were some of the taboos.
Yeah,
which
that's
aren't.
right. Which I did too. I think I was told, you've got tattoos, you can't donate for 5 years.
Yeah,
something, you know. But that was old school. I think that was all old school stuff, and now all that's been, you know, all the myths have been cleared up.
Yeah, and the coming from England thing, you know, I thought, is it just something to do with mad cow, or just because they're mad? We don't know. I'd never heard of that before.
Yeah.
So, if you're coming down, everyone's really helpful. Your questions will be answered.
Yeah.
Don't fear anything.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a stupid question.
No, not at all. And willing to show you things, and definitely people here to talk to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
88.6 Plenty Valley FM.
And we're back live broadcasting from Lifeboat Australia here in Bundoora. And I'm joined with Alf. How you doing, Alf?
Good, thanks, Mark. And yourself?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Come on down if you want to have a donation, folks. We're live. We're live until 12 o'clock, but they're here until 4:45 today. If you want to come down. Now, we're going to shoot over to Dr. Keats, Chris, who is in the chair right now, about to give blood, or is giving blood right now. Are you there, Chris? Can you hear me?
I certainly am. I'm in the chair even as we speak. The cannula has been inserted in the arm, and the red stuff is flowing into the bag. It's going beautifully. I'm here with Ash and with Joey, and it is. It was the painful insertion of a needle I've ever had here. Joey did a fabulous job, thank you. And it is literally this simple, folks. I'm just sitting here squeezing a little heart-shaped ball to make sure there's blood flow. The blood is coming out of the tube, going into a little bag, which is on a little cradle, which is rocking it backwards and forwards to prevent the blood from clotting. So it's a very, very simple process. If you'd like to come down, by all means do. If not, 131495 is the number for Lifeblood Australia. You can jump on their website as well, download the app, all manner of things you can do. But it is, you've got me in this chair doing whole blood. You've got Craig right I can see over the other side in the chair. He's donating plasma. And, it's great stuff indeed.
Fantastic. Well done, Chris. Doing a great job,
mate.
Donation
number 138 for me. Wow. So it's taken a while, but we're getting there.
That's great. What time period is that? How long has that taken you to get to that number?
First donation, if I recall rightly, was in 1999.
Yep.
I had a 5 or 6 year break where I didn't do anything at all, and then I've had occasional breaks in there as well. So if I'd given every donation I could, I'd be up around the 300 mark by now, I think.
Wow.
But, Hey, 138's not terrible.
Yeah, that's very impressive, sir. Very impressive.
But then again, one donation is a marvellous thing. So even if you only ever give one, you've still contributed. Come on down.
Yeah, very, very nice. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, feeling fine. There's never any problem here. It's as simple a process as you can possibly ask for.
Yeah.
As you can hear, I'm doing it now. I'm talking. I sound no worse than I normally sound.
That's right. Well, maybe we can make this a regular thing when you're on air.
We could possibly set something up in studio too, I'm sure.
I'll talk to the tech guys and see what they can sort out.
Maybe install a direct line so the blood just flows all the way through to Bundoora. Maybe not.
Keith, it's Alf here. How long does it take to do the actual donation?
G'day, Alf. Nice to have you on board. With whole blood, I haven't donated it regularly for a long time, but it's between 5 and 10 minutes, depending. I used to... When I was doing whole blood before they asked me to switch over to plasma, I used to try and beat my previous time. I'd remember what the previous time was. I'd go hell for leather to try and, pump my arm a lot and make the blood flow more quickly and see if I could get out of the chair quicker.
Oh, well done, mate. I'm sure you're quite the bleeder.
Oh, yeah. There is a song, Only Women Bleed. I can confirm that is not the case. Men do it too.
That's right.
That was suggested by my workmate Bill as one of the songs for the AB. I thought that might be inappropriate. We won't use that one.
Yeah, no.
Even though it's a good song.
As much as I like Alice Cooper, no.
Fair enough. No vampire songs coming up?
I was gonna slip in Date with the Vampire by Screaming Tribes, and I thought, you know what, it's not the vibe we're going for, I don't think.
Fair enough.
And that is basically it, folks. We're pretty much at the end of the process right about now.
Wow, jeez.
I've been in this
didn't
for,
take long.
5-6 minutes,
Yeah.
thereabouts. It's done.
Very impressive.
It is that simple, folks.
Wow.
131495. Jump on lifebloodaustralia.com.au or lifeblood.com.au as the case may be. Or come on down to Copernicus Crescent, roll your sleeve up and bang, it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, well done.
Alrighty, I will hand back while we're dealing with the mop-up procedure and I'll catch you in a few minutes' time.
No worries. Good job. Thanks, Keith.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well done. Very good stuff. Gee, that's how easy it's done.
I know, it's just as simple as that.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
I mean, we can't promise that you're going to be on the radio every time you come down here, but you never know. You never know when Plenty Valley FM might be here broadcasting live.
Well, we do get out and about.
That's right.
We've got a few OBs coming up.
But this is our first one here, I believe. So
Yeah.
hopefully, more to come. This is a pretty cool place to do a live broadcast.
Yeah, I think, like I was saying before, a bit of a drive. I think we might have to rope in a few more presenters to come on down.
Yeah. Make it more of a party.
Yeah, why not? Make it an event.
That's right.
You've always got to have something.
Yeah.
And I'm sure with a nice iced coffee that'd go down quite well.
Absolutely.
But, I was just surprised how quick that was.
Yeah.
And how simple. Just seeing a bit of it from where we're sitting, which is we're presenting from the foyer, not from the actual donation room. But, I was really surprised.
Whereas the plasma and the platelets take longer, but understandably because there's more involved in that. From what we were talking, and I've done plasma before. I don't think I've done platelets, but I've done plasma before, and I know that it's maybe 2 or 3 times the length, just because of the process. The blood has to be spun in the centrifuge, and it gets separated, and then you get the blood back into you, and they take the platelets away. The plasma away, and you get your blood's been kind of reinvigorated. It gets back once it goes back in, so it gives a bit of a wash almost.
No worries, a bit of bounce and step on the way out.
Yeah, that's true. So it's definitely worth it, and it's really. They really need the plasma. The plasma is really, really important.
And from listening earlier, the plasma can be donations are a little bit more frequent than a standard.
Yeah. I think 2 weeks. Fortnightly.
I'll have to get Ash.
Which is pretty amazing. Yeah, and blood not so much. I think it's 8 weeks or something, or I forget the exact number, but it's definitely not as frequent as that. But yeah, fortnightly. That's pretty amazing. You wanted to do plasma every. And I'm not sure about platelets. I'd have to ask Ash, but. Yeah.
We still have a bit of a shout out to Ash. She's done a wonderful job on the radio today.
She has. She's been
just
great. We'll try and get her back on before we finish up.
Yeah. Ash, if you're listening. But no, it's definitely been a really informative session this morning for everyone. And one of the things we touched on is a lot of people want to do things for the community and want to help out. And it's just such a simple thing to do.
Yeah, but it does so much. It can do so much for so many people.
Yeah.
Incredible. And like Ash was even saying, on the app, like if you've got the app, it can tell you, it tells you all sorts of things once you've given your donation. But one of the things being where your blood goes to. You know, like, which is pretty cool. That's pretty cool to know that where your donation's gone to help so-and-so or gone off to wherever, you know.
I think that's always a thing that people, donate something. It'd be nice to know where it goes. Doesn't matter what it is, where it goes. Obviously, for privacy, we can't say who it helped.
Yeah.
But, it's been used in a hospital for this, that.
Yeah.
I think it's just a really good, warm, fuzzy feeling inside.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you'll be donating again soon?
As soon as I'm allowed to,
Yeah.
I just have to find out when that is. I'm not sure. I was going to talk to Ash about that, actually, but I can't remember exactly. I think they said 5 years. So,
okay.
Is kind of the window, so I'm about halfway there, something like that. But that's okay. We'll get there.
What you hear on community radio is governed by the Community Broadcasting Codes of Practice. The Codes of Practice cover matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, including local content, news, current affairs, Australian music content, programs for children, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting to the community. They also cover aspects such as community access and participation in the operation of this service. Copies of the codes are available from the Community Broadcasting Association website, www.cbaa.org.au.
Join Plenty Valley FM every Saturday afternoon at 6 for The Heaters On, bringing you 2 hours of fabulous music from the 70s to today, with segments including Rock Profile, What's Happening, and Step Back in Time. The Heaters On, every Saturday afternoon at 6 on your local station, 88.6 Plenty Valley FM.
The Heaters On.
Absolutely, I'm back.
He's back in the chair. Welcome back, sir.
Thanks going out to
Welcome back, Cotter.
Thanks going out to Joey for a fabulous needle insertion and removal. The least painful one I've ever had. Not that they're painful to begin with. I literally did not feel the cannula going into my arm this time. They're marvellous.
That was pretty quick. You know what? I've been in the McDonald's drive-thru longer than that. Let me tell you.
I was this morning on the way here. 5 minutes, 55 seconds it took from start to finish. That's not bad going.
Not bad.
And it's that easy, folks. Less than 10 minutes in the chair. What more could you ask? Well, nice to have Alf on board too.
Mate. Yeah, I must say, you've still got your rosy cheeks and you're not looking pale at all. You look wonderful.
When I went in for my little health check and interview prior to going out there, my blood pressure was up very, very high.
Oh.
Because I'm so pumped up and enthusiastic about this, it almost ruled me out.
A bit too excited, perhaps,
Yes.
but it all worked out. And I would
It did.
say 5 minutes, 55 seconds is a pretty good exchange for 3 lives saved. So good on you, Keith. It's amazing.
I'm noted for being an early finisher, and this was no exception.
Does blood pressure make a difference to whether you're allowed to donate or not? Like, say, because I'm on high blood pressure medication, would that mean I'm not allowed?
That's a really great question.
Yep.
We obviously need it to be within a safe range, but that's a really great example of a recent change. If you are on blood pressure medications and it's working,
Yep.
fantastic.
That's okay? Oh, good,
absolutely,
good. Okay.
absolutely. So that's why that check in the booth is really important because we want to make sure that's going to be safe for the donor to give. And so blood
Yeah.
pressure is a great indicator of that.
Okay.
Occasionally it can be high because people are excited to
Yeah.
broadcast live for the first time in a chair.
They're on air, yeah.
But for many circumstances, it's high and people aren't realising that, or it's low and people aren't realising that. So a fantastic health check on the donors.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you pass the check there, then you should be fine. Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to chat to you because we were chatting off air before about the fact that, I've had cancer and I'm not allowed back for a few years now. They said 5 years when I first called up and asked, can I come in and do a donation? And when I told them I had cancer, they said, no, deal breaker.
Well, they don't want the recipients to catch anything, do they?
Well, it's less on that, Keith. That's a really common assumption, but it's more on the donor cells. And so if you're in the recovery stage of something and there's ongoing tests affiliated with that, donating blood or giving away some blood products can really skew the results of that in that crucial time. But yeah, it's a really exciting change. So previously, if people have had cancer, it was knocked them off for life.
Yeah.
They can't donate.
Same with heart attacks too.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
And it's often the case when people who receive blood products or understand the need for it, they want to be the first ones to give it. But, safety precautions, which I've just flagged, are in place to do that. But 5 years is usually the time frame that people have to wait. But if you're at all curious about your own eligibility and would like to have that individual assessment, just give us a call, 131495. You chat with a medical officer.
Yep.
They'll be able to pop a file together so that even when you do come into the donor centre, it'll all have that record there, saving a conversation, saving you time in the donor centre and giving you all the up-to-date information. But again, if we've said no in the past, that doesn't mean no forever. So
Yeah.
if you're curious and you think, oh, I wonder if something that prevented me in the past from donating has changed, then give it a go, because if it's not a blood donation, it may be the likelihood that you could be eligible to donate plasma instead, which I referenced a bit earlier. And if I may, I'd love to speak just briefly about what plasma is. So plasma is the liquid component of your blood. It's very, very useful in terms of the uses of blood products in Australia, specifically around oncology units and in the autoimmune patients as well. And so the process of donating plasma is so good for the donor. It is a lengthier process. So needle goes in, blood comes out, just like a blood donation. But instead of us keeping everything and then using all the components in the back end, we just want that plasma component of your blood, which is, 90% of your blood product is plasma, which is 98% water. So it's mostly water. We just want that. So the process is involved to go needle in, blood out. We centrifuge and separate out the plasma. And then we give the donor back their red cells and then rehydrate them with saline to make sure that their recovery is going to be nice and quick, meaning that it's a really safe donation type for people who maybe have had a history of low iron in the past, because your iron lives in your red cells. So by donating plasma is not going to impact your iron stores as they would if you were to do a blood donation. And it's, if you think about iron, if you've got low iron, it's like ordering a vodka soda and then just getting double soda. You're like, well, where's the good bit? Similarly, or in the same analogy, right, with hemochromatosis, if you order a vodka soda and you get a double vodka, it can be quite... We need that happy medium. But a plasma donation, because we're just taking the plasma component of that blood, it means that more people are eligible to donate that. So certain medications, recent travel, history of low iron, and very, very excitingly, very soon we will be launching what's called the Plasma Pathway for people in the LGBTQIA+ community. We will be involving and kind of opening up the eligibility window to welcoming crowds of people that otherwise previously were not eligible to donate, because the plasma component of that blood product is absolutely safe for clinical use. So, watch this space for all sorts of eligibility changes. And again, if you're not too sure what to give and you want to kind of give what's needed the most, plasma is what is needed the most from all blood types. And if you've got the time and you're willing and able to give what we need the most, then get ready to be asked to do plasma in the donor centre. It takes longer, but it's a quicker recovery. And again, if you're here and you've got the time and you're willing to do it, why not give us what we need?
And you can do it every fortnight instead of once every 3 months.
Absolutely.
If you're really pushing, you can get in 25 donations a year instead of 5.
Absolutely. In fact, there's a local gentleman out at Ringwood last year who squeezed in 27.
There you go.
I mean, he timed it to Dave's his name. I know he's listening because I told him to tune in today, which is great. But for those people who like to hit milestones or work towards a goal, a plasma donation
is the great way to do it.
It's the great way to accrue those numbers. And every donor centre, we've got a Donor Legends board, actually, which highlights and showcases all of the local people who have hit those big milestones. Now, in saying that, one donation is something worth celebrating.
Sure is.
But for people, such as the world record holder, James Harrison, who was a donor up in Sydney, he did 1,172 donations in his lifetime. He's the one to beat. And so, again, if competition will motivate you, go right ahead. Though I think we're all a bit late to start to try and beat that record. But look, one donation is worthwhile. But if you're excited and keen to kind of get involved and have that routine, if it's once a year, once a month, or once a fortnight, we're willing and able to have you.
Every donation's worthwhile.
Absolutely.
Just like to shout a quick howdy to a mate of ours, Justin Cowman, who is listening in as we speak.
G'day, Justin.
He's listening out there. Justin be a blood donor, except he tends to break bits of himself too often, so he can't.
Make sure you're eligible. Always double-check 2-minute quiz online. But I'd also like to shout out, there was a person that just approached us just before we came to air who told us that we're the reason that got her out of bed today to come on in and donate.
That was Kat from Monday Drive.
Well, there you go.
One of our presenters. We've actually got a few. We've got Mark, myself, we've got Alpha's joined us. We've got Kat has joined us. Wow, this is great.
This is the place to be.
It is at the moment, that's for sure.
Just to chat to us. As I said earlier, usually it's the coffee and the party pies that get people in, but it turns out today it's us.
They're a bonus.
It's that too. If there were no party pies, and there would have been questions asked in Parliament.
Very funny. But yeah, look, what will motivate people to come in is their own prerogative. But I'm just so grateful for you guys to come on down here for National Blood Donor Day. It happens once a year, as per the name. It's the 14th of June every single year, and it's our one time of the year where we kind of say thank you. We always are saying please more, and whilst, you know, 1 in 3 of us will need it, only 1 in 30 of us are donating. And so if it's someone who's donated in the past and they think, yep, I've done it, tick a box, well, consider doing it again.
Absolutely.
You know, there's no age limit anymore to donating either. Many medications are now allowed to donate. And if we've previously precluded you, like I was chatting with Mark just earlier, you know, there may just be a wait period applicable to you being eligible. And if, 5 minutes and 55 seconds is all it takes to save 3 lives.
And as you heard when I was doing it live, nothing to it, folks. I'm sitting there, I'm squeezing a little heart-shaped ball in my hand to make sure the blood flow's constant.
Yep.
It doesn't affect you. You don't feel woozy. You don't feel dizzy. You don't feel strange. It's just 5 minutes, 10 minutes out of your time. If you're donating plasma, it's 45 minutes to an hour. Bring in your iPad, bring in your MP3 player, bring in a book.
Yeah,
do whatever you need to do, man.
Yeah.
It's just a chance to relax. Wonderful stuff indeed. 131495.
And then afterwards you get like a really sexy bandage, which is what you've got, Pete. Look at this.
Which we've now got. This is a permanent one, I believe.
It's a permanent one, yeah. So we've got bright red bandages now. For those that are in the know, you know that big bandage on the arm is the indicator that you've just saved 3 lives. So
actually, by permanent, I don't mean it stays on your arm forever. Yeah, no. It gets taken off after a few hours.
Just so we're clear.
Just between you and me.
You don't have to wear it forever. In fact, if you wear it for too long, it gets really smelly, just like any old socks.
You've gone through stages where you've had various commemorative ones, like special designs and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Along the way.
And we'll continue to do the one-off donations because we find that, the surprise and delight features, like we talked about the gifts earlier, the bandages, they're just a fantastic option. But on these bright red bandages, it's got that campaign, Life is the Reason, because everyone's got their reason. For myself, it's my mum. You know, she's a nurse and she told me and instilled in me quite young the importance of being a donor. And so I knew when I was of age, I'd get in trouble if I didn't do it. It's like now every year for Mother's Day, I always go in and donate as a bit of I don't have to buy a gift. I'm giving a gift instead.
That's great.
That's my reason. And, fortunate are those that aren't reminded of the need for it every single day. So look inside, think about your own reasons. If it's for a mental health perk, if it's to be part of the community, if it's for that health check, or if it's for a party pie, it all quantifies, it all qualifies, and we'd love to see you.
It does. That's a good note to wrap things up on. I think we're coming... Pun intended. We survive on puns at this radio station is what we do. We've been talking to Ashley Hales from Lifeblood Australia. We're coming live from their complex in Copernicus Crescent in Bundoora. It is World Blood Donor Day. If you've got nothing better to do, and even if you have, too damn bad, get down here. If you're a first-time donor or you'd like to become a first-time donor, sign up. They'll happily accept walk-ins today, and you will find it is a wonderful, wonderful thing to do.
Absolutely. And if you're ever concerned about anything, eligibility-wise, location-wise, what you need to do before or after, just jump on the website, www.lifeblood.com.au. It's a wealth of knowledge, or jump on the phones, as Keith said, 13 14 95. You chat with real people, answering real questions to ensure that you're going to be safe to donate, the person on the other end is going to be safe to donate, and you're educated and ready to come on in and save lives together.
Absolutely. That's going to do it for the broadcast, folks. We've got a few acknowledgements to get through before we pull the pin and go back to the studios at Plenty Valley FM. Firstly, to Ashley Hales for making it all happen.
Yeah.
Well done,
good job.
Good on you.
Thank you.
Speaking of making things all happen, Brian and Nick King, who are tech guys, without whom nothing happens, basically. They always do a great job.
Yeah.
Fabulous. We'll also like to thank Alfred for coming down.
Oh, mate, anything to help you out, Keats.
I love the local news.
I love the music variety.
And all the local sport.
24 hours a day, it's all local. 88.6 Plenty Valley FM.